And it's just like if we could all have that attitude of like Quint and like other people, we read this Chicken Soup for the Soul, to give back, to give. The more you give, the more you receive. And I think we all need to kind of get into that. What can we do? What can we join up? We see movies where people just joined in. Maybe they turned around an inner city school or a neighborhood. And we can do that. And we are on the start. I mean, it is happening. And I would just love to see people just kind of, shake it off and jump in. What can I do? And it may just be taking some food to the person next door that's sick. Just start with a little something. What can you do? Pick up some trash. And we may not all have the money or, some great talent, but the little bit that we do is just a blessing. And the more we start blessing, we're just going to see our whole town blossom. And I am excited to be here. I think we've had a shift, and I think we only have greatness to look forward to, that this city is just going to be, we're going to look back in a few years and go, oh, wow, isn't this awesome?
Let me ask you something. Hey, Ed, what do you think? Is there any doubt in your mind about how Charlotte feels?
I'm thinking she needs to, get some energy and excitement about this project.
Yeah, let me see what we can do here. Let me.
First of all, Ken, I just would like to thank her for her positivity. Whether you support the project or not, whether you like all of it or not, and there's no project that everyone's going to like 100%, but you can come about it from a positive angle, looking at the bright side, looking at what we can do and what is possible, and that's what I want to thank Charlotte for.
Well, let me. I want to pursue another line of questioning with Charlotte, and that is this: in your article. Which, by the way, folks, if you want to read it for yourself, it's at, just go to communitymaritimepark.com. That is the website for Friends of the Community Maritime Park. Once again, that web address, all you got to do is just type this into your address box. Community Maritime Park, all is one word, .com. Go there, look on the news area, and you're going to find Charlotte's viewpoint there that she wrote. Now, Charlotte, in your viewpoint, you began by saying that you were, in fact, not committed to the project when it began, but that you did a lot of research on it. And finally, when you saw the presentation at the September 26th board meeting, when we took a look at the design criteria presentation, could you tell us the evolution of your thing? Folks, and here's why I wanted to do this. This isn't somebody that got on board because of her job. This isn't somebody that got on board just because, she's, spontaneous and compulsive or anything. I mean, I'm trying to find exactly the right words to say. What I'm trying to tell you guys is this. This is a woman that works with numbers all day long. She runs a mortgage broker business. She owns it herself. She's in the real world. And she didn't start off saying, hey, we need the Community Maritime Park, but she did go through a series of research steps and evidentiary steps, and finally the final. But could you explain to us, how did you get to the point that you are? And start from the very beginning, if you would, and take a couple of minutes. Where did you start? What evidence did you get that affected your thinking on this? And then how was it that presentation of the design criteria, which, folks, is also posted at communitymaritimpark.com, how did that close this up in your mind?
Well, it's probably like a lot of people. In the beginning, the information was there. It was coming out. It was mailed to our homes. It was very easy. It was on TV and very much talked about. So, and both sides, you had to really listen because there were some compelling arguments and, compelling proponents, real important things to listen to. So it was confusing for me, and I wanted to make sure that it was the right thing. But the more I studied, the more I saw, then I made the decision. I was a little slow, and I made the decision that, wow, this is it. This is a great idea. This is really, I see the benefits. So I jumped on board, and I made my mind up in time to vote. So I'm really glad, because I would have regretted that. But I haven't been one that had time, or I didn't, if you're busy doing one thing, then there's 10 more things that you're not doing. So I was busy with other things, but I've stayed abreast of it and kept up with the news, as I love Pensacola. I like to know what is going on here. But when I went to the first meeting, and you know what, and I was invited, go to the first meeting, and I thought, well, I've never been. Yeah, I was kind of like, well,
meeting of the Community Maritime Park
Right.
Associates. That's what she's talking about.
The
Go ahead.
last one. So
Yeah.
I was invited, and I thought, I think I will. And I'm really glad because there was a part of me that said, oh, that's not for you. You don't know what's going on down there, and maybe you shouldn't go. And I thought, no, it is not too late. This is my town, and I have the time to do it now. I am interested, so I'm going to the meeting, and I'm so glad I did. Wow, every detail is taken care of. You would be so impressed at the organization and the complexity, how big this project, and how many phases it is, and how every small detail, promenades down to cornices on buildings that will be built 5 years from now. So that is impressive because so much work has been in. So any question that came up, there was an answer, and you could just see it. Great minds at work had this thing going. And I'm a visual person. So one of the greatest things about that particular meeting was that they unveiled
all the graphics, the designs.
The graphics and
right.
designs. And so there it was, real. Look, this is a ballpark, which is only one part of this. This is the different ways that the field can be used. It has many different applications. This is, the residential section. This is where we're going to have some shops. And this is the museum. This is the UWF extension. So it was very real, and it's laid out. You can see the streets, the landscaping. So it is real. You see the waterfront and how the walking paths for people, 2 different levels, families enjoying it, and then the adversity. So you know what? You hear so much ballpark, and I think it was belittled so much. It's a ballpark, and it is not. And I was so glad I went because this is not. That is so belittling. This is an entire community. And so I felt so much freedom when I saw it, and I'm just still overwhelmed. That was, a month ago? And I am thrilled. And I said in there, I said, you guys, when we see this, we're going to say, I wish it was here yesterday. This is exactly what we need. This is what Pensacola is going to be, a real community that draws people, that draws businesses, where we have somewhere to go, where our children don't leave, where we're going to pull in some businesses to come here so our children do have jobs. And it's thrilling. It covers everything. I left nothing to my imagination. I was